wanted to start, before we do some readings from books and say some Kaddish, I just wanted to start by recounting something that I heard a couple of weeks ago. On the Shabbat before Purim, as part of the Torah reading, we read Parshat Zachor, part of which says, Zachor et asher osa lecha Amalek b'derech b'tzeitcha miMitzrayim lo tishkach. You shall remember what Amalek did to you on the way when you went out of Egypt. Do not forget. So what does the Torah reading say? Why does the Torah reading say remember and do not forget? Surely if you're remembering, you're not forgetting. And if you're not forgetting, you are remembering. I recently heard our Chief Rabbi Ephraim Mirvis explain this before Yom HaShoah, and he said as follows: as Jews, we have a dual obligation of Zachor, to remember, and Lo Tishkach, to not forget. Lo Tishkach refers to what takes place in one's heart, while Zachor refers to actions that serve to remind people. Jews everywhere engage in Lo Tishkach, to not forget the Holocaust in their hearts, and it's incredibly important that everybody does so. What the Fed's My Voice project does, through its active recording and publishing of survivor storybooks, taking survivors out into the wider community to tell their stories, and engaging in the crucial education work around the books, and indeed what all of us here today are doing by actively being at Theresienstadt to say Kaddish for those who died here, to remember those we know who survived, and to raise crucial money for My Voice to continue its unique work, is the action, is the Zachor that we are commanded to do.
The My Voice project is in the process of working on publishing Tommy Schweiger's life story book. His maternal grandparents died in Theresienstadt, and I've got here an excerpt from Tommy's book which I'm going to read out. When my parents met, it was a love match. They married in 1933 and had me 5 years later. I am an only child. We lived in a large apartment block in an affluent section of the city called Bayerischer Platz. My mother gave up her legal career to be with me at home, although I did have a nanny called Clara who had been with my mum's family for years. Meanwhile, the situation for Jews in Germany was deteriorating. My father was a very well-connected and respected man. He had connections with the authorities to negotiate and arrange affidavits for Jews to escape Germany prior to the start of the Second World War. My father used to go to the British Embassy every day to arrange visas for people once the affidavits had been granted. The German authorities gave permission for the visas, and then the UK authorities had to sign them. He was like the go-between. He had already secured our 1-month visas for England, just in case we needed to emigrate quickly. Every day he used to ask the authorities at the embassy what was going on, because things were moving so fast. My father told me that on the 31st of August 1939, at 11 o'clock in the morning, the guy at the embassy said, "Can you see what we're doing? We're packing up, go!" So my father rang my mother from the embassy and told her to meet him at Bahnhofszoo station in Berlin at 3 o'clock. He didn't even go back home. We got on a train straight away. It was 3 days before the declaration of war. Unfortunately, my father was unable to obtain visas for any of my relatives because it was too late. Some were left behind at the house with Clara. Little did my parents know that this would be the last time they would see their parents again. My maternal grandparents, Margareta Tomsky and Sally Tarnowski, were sent to Theresienstadt and died there. My great-aunt Lena was also recorded being at Theresienstadt before her death at Treblinka in 1942. My paternal grandfather Alex had died of natural causes beforehand. My mother always used to blame my father for not doing things quicker. We emigrated so late in the day because my father was helping others. I am now going to place these stones given to me by Tommy, Heather and the Schweiger family in memory of Margareta and Sally.
now going to say Kaddish in memory of Margareta and Sally. And I'm going to be joined by Mark, who's also going to say Kaddish because you have your time today. Yiskadal v'yiskadash shmei Rabbo.
Amen.
V'yamad yivrach v'yosei v'amlich machosei. V'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei d'chol beis Yisrael. V'agala v'zman karib v'imru amen. Hey shmei Rabbo v'barach v'olam v'olmei omayo. Yisbarach v'yishtabach v'yisbarach v'yishtamam v'yisnasei. V'yisador v'yisalel v'yisalov shmei d'kudsha v'richu. Le'ela v'kol v'chasa v'shirasa v'chasa v'nechanosa. Damiram b'amar v'imru amen. Yehi Rabba ben Shemaya v'chaim v'aleinu v'alkol Yisrael v'imru amen. Aseh shalom ben Ramah huyas shalom aleinu v'alkol Yisrael v'imru amen.
May there be abundant peace from heaven and life for us and all Israel, to which we say Amen.
Amen.
May the one who creates harmony on high bring us all peace and to all Israel, to which we say Amen.
Amen.